Back to another lesson of logos and letters. My name is Liam. Let's continue on. So, pasa de usia tokai to de tis se nine. So, all these substances appear to be signifying something. Epimenun ton protonusion anam fisbeteton kai alethes estin hoti to de tis se mainai. So I sort of translated this last lesson correctly, but with a bit of poetic license. Most clearly, this word cannot more literally means like without doubt, indubitably, all right, and truly is that which signifies something in particular. So the primary substance undoubtedly signifies something, and let's continue on. Atomon gar kaye hen rhythmoi to te lumenon estin. So they are one in number, right? One in number and individual, these primary substances. Let's continue on now, something new. Epideton deuteronusion fainetai men homoios toi schematites prosegorias to de ti se mainain. Okay, so it appears that in regard to the secondary substances, it appears that they are referring to something, they are addressing something. Sorry, he uses the form addressing something in form, signifying something in form. Okay, so what that means is, straight after the last sentence, if you say macropod, all right, or let's say what's an easy one? That's a differential. Let's go kangaroo. If you say kangaroo, all right, it seems to be, because that's a secondary substance, is it not? It's a species of an animal, and they're a macropod as well. If you say kangaroo, it seems to be addressing something in form that is singular, does it not? And that's what he's saying here. So primary substance and secondary substance seem to have that in common. Let's continue on though. He's going to expand this idea and speak more about it. Hotanipe anthropon e stoion. Just as if you were to say man or animal. Okay, if you say man or animal, it seems to be saying something one in form. Seems to be addressing something that's one in form. So if you say that man over there, you obviously think of one person. But if you say, even if you say man in general, sounds like you're speaking about something one in form. Same with animal. Umain alethesge. But this is not so the case. Alamalon poyon ti se mainai. So it seems to be that you're referring to something in a form like kangaroo, and it sounds singular, and it sounds like you're just speaking about just some form of a thing, okay, like a macropod with a long tail and a pouch, all that sort of stuff that you see here. But it's actually referring to something qualitatively, all right, not just form as in shape or even the number, but qualitative. When we say kangaroo or man or animal or moon or planet or star, all right, there's something qualitative about what we're saying here. Alamalon, poyon, and remember, poyon is one of the 10 supreme genera. Tis se mainai ugar hen esti to hypokaimenon hosperhe proteusia. So when we say kangaroo, star, animal, man, all right, this word sounds singular. It does sound singular, but it's not one in number. We need to clarify that. Okay, alakata polon hoanthropos legetai. For man is said according to many things. Okay, many things. It's universal. When we say kangaroo, it's universal to all the different kangaroos, and that's why it's synonymous. Okay, when we say animals, that's in common with all the animals. That's said of many different subjects, okay? Not just one subject. Primary substance is one, but these secondary substances are set in accord with more than one, all right? So we can, instead of calling them, if you knew everybody's name here, right? Instead of calling out all their names, you could use one word which refers to all of them. Okay, sure. That's pretty common sense. But he's differentiating right now. He's drawing lines between all the different substances that we've learnt so far. Okay, let's continue on. So ugar hen esti to hypokaimenon hosper he protaiousia. Alla katapalon ho anthropos legetai kaito stoion ug haplos de poion ti seimanai. But it's not entirely a quality that it's signifying. Okay, yes, it is a kind of qualitative thing to be a man. It's a qualitative thing to be a lion or a vulture. It actually looks like a pelican. I might say eagle, pelican, vulture, giraffe. That's a qualitative thing, but not entirely. Let's continue on with his thought. Hosper to lukon udengar allo seimainai to lukon alae poion. So color, for example, like white, only ever signifies a quality. But when we say these secondary substances, ton deuteronusion, of course, it's referring to the form of something qualitative, but even more than that. To de aidos kaitogenos periusian to poion aphorizdai. So what it's doing, it's setting a boundary between the species and the genus about the substance. It's defining. It's not just referring to a quality or a form, it's also a defining word. All right, so consider those three. So when we say serpent, snake, reptile, swan, it's a defining word. It sets boundaries for our mind to follow. There's a form that we consider, okay, according to the best data that we have and experience that we have in our mind, and so on and so forth. So these secondary substances are really like catalogs, information, a Rolodex, if you will, even though it's a pretty dated piece of technology. But when we say bird, okay, we have a specific form that comes to mind and something that we expect, okay? And we think of all the essential things to it. We never really think about accidents too much, but what's essential to it for the ostrich and for the polar bears, all right? Let's continue on and wrap this one up. Where were we? Down here. Hospital lukon udengar alos seimainai to lukon alae poion. To de aidos kaito genos periusian to poion aphorizdai. Poiongar tina usian seimainai. So we'll finish here. Finish here for this lesson. Okay. Poion gar tina usian seimainai. So for some particular substance, all right, it's signifying something qualitative about the particular substance, signifying something qualitative about this substance itself. So white, all right, so he uses the example of white. White is signifying something qualitative about the body, all right, and that can come and go. You can have a black swan, you know, you could so on and so forth, and there are these animals that change colors, you know, so that's not stable. You've even got cats there, and we all know cats have different colors, and some animals can change colors like immediately, like a cuttlefish or a chameleon, and other animals of that kind. What do they have? Chromatophores or something in their skin? Anyway, we continue on, and we understand that qualities such as colors come and go, but these secondary substances, which are saying something qualitative about the substance itself, all right, that's why he mentioned the word form. That's why it sort of defines one thing from another, and that's why they're not parts of a whole. They're these qualitative things about the primary substance, the subject itself. All right, and they're substantial, so they don't come and go. Okay, they have a form, and it's defining. And when something is defining, it's stable. It's related to the essence, and that's where our definitions come from. Something that's defining is definable, and from the definable we have the definition. Okay, and that relates entirely to chapter 1. I won't go all the way back up there, but chapter 1, where his insistence on definitions being something which captures what it means to be that thing. And what it means to be that thing is the definable, is what is definable about it. And what is definable about it is what it is defined by. All right, and we've just come full circle here, and we've gotten that. The aphorisdai, so is defined, is, or it can be translated as it sets boundaries. All right, you cannot be this and that. So if you look like a snake, but you have 4 legs, you're a lizard. I wonder if Adam said something like that in the Garden of Eden when he was naming everything. Or if you look like a lizard, but you don't have 4 legs, you're a snake. All right. Now eels would probably raise a proverbial eyebrow about that, but you get the picture. All right. The boundary setting, they're qualitative about this. They qualify the substance in a way. They refer to a form, toi schemati, right? Just like according to a form. So yeah, we'll leave that there. So he's explored the primary substances and what's unique about them, the secondary substances and what's unique about them. Now, this lesson on secondary substances may seem abstract and useless, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is the hard-hitting, absolutely essential tools that you need when you study, if you want to study Jesus Christ of Nazareth. If you want to figure out how he can be God and man at the same time, or how it's possible, or how it's explainable, this particular paragraph right here is rocket fuel. It's not just rocket fuel, it's the entire chassis of the rocket. It's the boosters, it's everything. I would suggest get your head around this stuff as well as you can, because when and yes, I do intend to apply this knowledge to everything I can from biblical scripture, and that's something that we'll do piece by piece, drip feeding, because look, we've got 812 pages to get through. I'm not going to Bible bash, to use the common expression, just yet. I don't want to put people off. When the opportunities arise, we are going to apply all these tools as well as we can with absolute precision. We're going to work together as well. I'm hoping that by that point in the distant future, I will have people who regularly helping in the comment sections with other students that have questions and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to work together as a team to apply this knowledge to everything that we can from the different biblical moments and scripture, and not just that, in historical moments as well, and scientific ideas and all these other things, to explain these big questions. So if a Christian says, Jesus Christ was not just man, he was man and God, let's use that. Let's use our ideas of secondary substances to try and explain that. Okay, we've got the rules now, we've got the logic. We've got the logic that we all agree upon. We can all shake hands over, and let's use that. We've got the guardrails, let's throw the bowling ball and try hit the pins, all right? So we'll leave it there for now. I think that's a good point to leave on. If you have any questions, or if you've been enjoying this series so far, let me know. We're still very early days. I've been doing this for, I think, 11 days in a row now. Missed one day for Anzac Day here in Australia. What's the date today? 6/21, 27th of April. So lest we forget, for all those veterans or all those people who have service members in their family, may God bless, and thank you for your time today as always. My name is Liam. Si semper fortis in opere tuo, and I will see you next time.